It started on a regular Tuesday morning in Austin, Texas. The kind of morning where the heat was already sticking to your skin before 10 a.m. And the line at the bank stretched just long enough to make people check their watches. Inside the glass doors of Oakmark Trust's flagship branch, a woman waited quietly in the customer seating area. She wore a navy hoodie, dark jeans, a clean ponytail, and a pair of simple sneakers. No flashy jewelry, no designer handbag, just a quiet, composed presence. Her name was Monica Ellison, but no one in that building knew it yet. She'd been sitting there for over 35 minutes. 3 customers, white, well-dressed, clearly valued, had come in after her and were already gone. Meanwhile, Monica just sat there, patient, observant, silent. Finally, when the crowd thinned, she walked up to the counter. The teller, a young woman named Paige, looked up, and for a second, her smile flickered. Not out of rudeness, more like discomfort. "How can I help you?" Paige asked, a little cooler than she'd been with the woman in yoga pants just moments before. "I'd like to make a withdrawal," Monica replied, handing over her ID and a slip. Paige's eyes dropped to the amount, 20,000 questions. Her face didn't hide it. The flicker of surprise. Then the suspicion. She squinted at Monica's license, looked back at her face, then back down again. "Just a moment," Paige mumbled, before flagging over her supervisor. A tall man with gelled hair and a silver name tag that read Nick Branson, assistant manager. Nick leaned in, glanced at the form, and immediately frowned. "These types of accounts," he said, dragging out the phrase like he'd said it 1,000 times before, "require additional verification, especially for amounts like this." Monica tilted her head. What types of accounts would those be? He didn't answer. Instead, he turned to Paige. "Pull up the transaction history. Let's see if anything jumps out." As they whispered back and forth, barely trying to hide it, 2 other employees casually strolled over. One of them, Greg, smirked as he looked Monica up and down. The other, Kara, raised an eyebrow and whispered something that made Paige bite her lip and look away. Monica stood still. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't lose her cool, but the tension. You could cut it with a knife. And then came Jessica Delano, the branch manager. She walked over like she ran the city. Not just the branch. Blonde bob, tailored suit, heels clicking across the tile like punctuation marks. "I understand you're requesting a large cash withdrawal," she asked, arms crossed. "That's right," Monica said, still calm. "May I ask what it's for?" Monica looked her square in the eye. "Are you asking every customer that today?" Jessica's smile didn't move. "We ask questions to protect our clients and the bank. Large cash requests raise flags." Yet none of those flags seemed to wave earlier this morning, when the gentleman in the navy blazer took out $90,000. No one asked him anything. Silence, you could feel it. Jessica's expression didn't change, but something behind her eyes did, a flash of discomfort. Maybe, or realization, but it passed quick. "I'm sorry," she said, voice flat. "Without proper documentation or a verified reason, we won't be able to complete this transaction." Monica looked at her, then reached into her bag and pulled out her phone. She didn't call anyone, not at first. She just opened the camera, tapped record, and set it quietly on the counter. That move, it changed everything. Jessica stiffened. Nick stepped back. Paige. Her hands were shaking now. "Is there someone?" Monica asked, her voice still steady. "Who can help me access my funds?" Jessica rolled her eyes. "I'm the highest-ranking official here." "Ma'am, there's no one else." Monica didn't blink. "Okay." Then she made a call. "Hey, Denise, I need you at Oakmark downtown. Now, bring the files, and all of them." The room shifted, like a storm front rolling in. 15 minutes later, the double doors swung open. Denise Harper, Senior VP of Operations, walked in like a lawyer on Judgment Day. Sharp navy blazer, tablet in hand, and fire in her eyes. She didn't stop at the front desk. She didn't ask for permission. She made a beeline to Monica, then smiled. "Hey, boss, you okay?" Jessica blinked. "Boss." Monica turned to her, then calmly said, "This is Denise, my colleague, and yes, boss, as in, I'm the CEO of this bank." Silence. Absolute jaw on the floor. Holy hell, silence. Jessica's mouth opened, closed, then opened again. Greg turned white. Nick's pen fell from his hand. Paige burst into tears. Because suddenly, everything made sense. The test, the camera, the wait, the quiet observation. Monica had come undercover, not to trap them, not even to punish them. She came to understand something that reports and surveys couldn't show: how her own bank, the one she'd spent 2 decades building, treated people who looked like her when no one was watching. What she saw was worse than the data had hinted. She turned to Denise. "Pull the footage. Every camera. Every timestamp since 9M. Get me every exit interview and every informal complaint for this branch over the last year." Jessica tried to talk. She really did. "It was just protocol." "No, it wasn't," Monica cut in. "You didn't follow protocol. You followed a pattern." Her voice didn't shake, but you could hear the weight behind it. "You questioned my identity. You questioned my right to access my own funds. You laughed with your staff while I was humiliated in public. You never asked for my name. You never once treated me like a client, let alone a human being." She paused, then turned to the staff behind her. "Nick, Greg, Kara, you're all terminated, effective immediately. No theatrics, no yelling, just quiet justice." Paige sobbed behind her counter, whispering, "I'm so sorry." But Monica walked over, stood beside her, and placed a hand gently on the desk. "You were uncomfortable," she said softly. "I saw it. You didn't join in, but you didn't speak up either." Paige nodded, barely breathing. "But you can start now. I'm promoting you to interim branch manager, effective immediately." Everyone stared. "But I'm not ready," Paige whispered. "You're more ready than the people who just left," Monica replied. "And you'll have support, training, accountability. That's what growth looks like. Growth. In the following days, the story made headlines not because of the viral video, though there was one, but because of what came next. Monica didn't just clean house, she rewrote the rules. She brought in independent equity auditors, launched a public review of every customer service policy, rolled out mandatory training across all 87 branches. She didn't do it for PR, she did it because it was overdue. She stood in front of cameras during a press conference and said, "When discrimination is baked into the day-to-day, it's not just wrong, it's dangerous. It erodes trust, destroys reputations, and ruins lives. At Oakmark, that ends now." And it did. Months later, that branch became a model for customer equity. Paige stayed on, eventually earning the permanent title of branch manager. She hired more diverse staff, built a community partnership fund, and changed the energy of the place completely. As for Monica, she kept leading. Not just from the top office, but from the lobby, from the chairs where customers waited, from the corners people forget. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing a leader can do is be underestimated, and walk in anyway. And remind everyone watching, who actually holds the pen?